So, this is my real estate life vlog, and I've made the decision, which I talked about the other day, to just pretty much do straight up real estate, you know, what I'm doing with my sales and real estate career, as opposed to, again, there's going to be little things that might get mixed in there, but pretty much hardcore real estate. I know the type of person that I am, and if I'm out there looking around for, if I'm a new real estate agent, if I'm brand new to the new home sales consulting industry, I know this is what I did. Is I went around, and I don't even think I really knew, I mean, I knew about YouTube, but I didn't really use it, but I Googled different things, and I wanted to just find hardcore sales talk, hardcore real estate sales strategy, hardcore, you know, there's nothing out there for new home sales consultants. I shouldn't say nothing. There's a couple of people, Myers Barnes, who I really like, a couple others that I'm just drawing blanks on. And I go to a conference every year. It's the International Builder Show, and it's put on in either Las Vegas or Florida. This year it's going to be in Florida. But my one of my favorite parts about the show is the sales seminars that are put on by all of the different leading sales experts. And if you're starting out to real estate sales, new home sales consultant, you need to find and listen to what I'm saying here, because you're not going to find any of this stuff anywhere else besides from the guy I'm getting this information from, Gary Vaynerchuk. Go check him out. Listen to what he says. It's not specific towards any one industry, although he does give certain examples to specific industries. And I've taken the main part of what he said, and I have been using it now for about a year. And it is unlike any sales scripts that are out there. How to close, how to talk to somebody on a cold call, how to do this, how to do that. Yeah, you can do all that stuff. That's great, and that stuff does work. I've done all of that as well. When I first started my sales career, I read a book by Tom Hopkins called How to Master the Art of Sales. I did everything in that book, and it worked. He said that, you know, your sales career will take off if you do everything that I tell you in this book. I did it. It worked wonderfully. Well, I stumbled upon podcasts and how to be more productive and how to better spend time, things that would make me better at sales. And then I ended up stumbling upon Gary Vaynerchuk, which basically just revolutionized my sales mind. And so I'm the type of person, once I find something, I read that Tom Hopkins book, I believed it, and I said, what the hell, I'm just gonna do everything he talks about in this book, put my full trust in him, do everything that he talks about, and I did that and it worked. I'm doing the same thing with Gary Vaynerchuk's information, and it's working, but on a much cooler scale. So back when I first started my sales career, it was about going after and getting the people. And it still is, but it's a completely different concept. And the concept is putting out information and good content and having the people come to you. Being a media company. Right now, Foxconn, one of the biggest things that has ever happened to the United States of America when it comes to manufacturing, size of factory that's being put in the US, is happening right now in my backyard. And when things like this happen, there's people that stand by the wayside, and they kind of will say they get the runoff, they work with it, they do things. There's people that step up and say, you know what, I understand this isn't a great situation for everybody, but for my specific industry, this is something that could be a game changer. And so there's the people that step up that are going to do everything that they can to change things and use this as, this is directly affecting my real estate company, our home building company, my sales career. So I'm going to do everything in my power to facilitate things the best way that I know how. And so the thing that I've been talking about over and over and over again, being a media company. Okay, well, right now, what is the biggest news story in my area, let alone the entire United States, when you're talking about the size of a manufacturing plant that's being put on this earth? It's a 20 million square foot building, which is the biggest that's ever been built in the United States of America for manufacturing. And it's going to bring in tons of jobs. This is something, there's all kinds of companies that relocate in the United States, but as far as jobs that are going to be, could possibly be brought in here, infrastructure change, real estate, values of real estate, there is all kinds of stuff going on. And so it's really kind of honing in and seeing how you can help people, because when you help people, you are benefited from that. So if you look at things in a different perspective, all of this is going on. There's a huge group of people that are being directly impacted, and this isn't a good thing for them. And if you can figure out how to help people, this is just something that I've learned along the way in my sales career. If you can help people, things are you will get your sales. It's basically, when it comes to sales, real estate, new home sales consulting, those are the only things that I know, but I'm thinking it probably expands even beyond that. But if you don't think about the money and making the sale and the money you're going to make off of that sale, and you just think about helping people, the money follows. The money has followed. That's definitely the way to do it. So I'm going to start changing up the way that I'm speaking about things. I'm going to be documenting my career. Right now I'm about to go in and meet with April, our new real estate salesperson that we just brought on. Met with her for the first time yesterday, got her kind of up to speed on everything that we need to be doing. And so she is going to be starting to look for properties for the people who are being impacted and moved out of their homes, and just with other people that I've been working with. But all of that aside, I'm going to continue to document, but I'm going to start to really share what I think is going to make you a successful real estate salesperson, new home sales consultant. And basically what I'm going to do is just tell you everything that I'm doing. I've been doing it for a year now. I've been in the new home sales, real estate sales industry now, directly in sales for 8 years. I'm 36 years old. From the time I was 14 to the time I was 25 years old, I worked within the industry, picking up garbage off of lots, sweeping out houses, expediting the houses, working with land development. I've worked every little industry of this real estate new home sales industry in my area, and for the last 8 years I've been doing the sales part of it. So I'm going to be sharing everything that I do, and I full on believe that if you take and do what I'm telling you to do and what I'm doing, you'll have the same results that I do. And I don't just say this because I believe this, I know this. Like I just said, when I first started, I took a book, I read it, I decided, I'm very gullible, which is a good thing and it's a bad thing, but mainly it's been good. I took that book, I read it, I decided I was going to do everything in that book and that it was going to make me successful, and it did. And then, however many years later, when I stumbled upon Gary Vaynerchuk, the same thing. He completely, I had a paradigm shift, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do everything that he's talking about, even though it means putting myself out there on video. The first one that I did, my hand was shaking. But the more and more and more that you do them, like right now, this is nothing. I feel like I can just spew good info, of course, but it's a lot different than it was when I first started. And again, if you put this content out there, you know, and I think if I keep putting out good content that is specific for real estate salespeople, new home sales consultants, those people will come and have questions for me as well. That is an industry that I'd like to get into. I don't know if I've talked about that, but I would aspire to speak in front of real estate agents, or have, you know, do sales training and do different speaking events like that. So I'm starting to ramble a little bit here. That's what I'm going to be doing. Please subscribe, check this out, share this with anybody that's in your industry. I'm going to be putting some good stuff out there, and I think it's different than what I'll have to do a little more research, but different than what any of the other sales trainers specific to real estate, new home sales consultants are actually talking about. Have a great rest of the day. God bless. By the way, everything I have is because of God. You can't do this alone. We'll get more into that down the road. Take care.